Good morning, Coolest Coast. It is time for an episode of the Healthiest Coast. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Healthiest Coast, brought to you by Healthiest Manitowoc County. We're your hosts today. This is Brittany Boyer of HMC Substance Use Prevention. I'm Tina Prigge with Coolest Coast. We are delighted to welcome our guests this morning from Lakeshore United Visionaries, Sonia Vasquez and Natasha Khan. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So let's talk about it. So this is June 2023. We are like midway through Pride Month. And this is important because Pride definitely has a connection with Healthiest Manitowoc County and Healthiest Manitowoc County's vision. Brittany, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so not only is it our Substance Use Prevention Coalition's mission, but also just HMC mission in general is everyone living longer, better lives, really focusing on how do we improve the health of our community for everyone. And Pride Month kind of gets into the specific community that kind of often gets left in the background of, we know, working with youth, that people that are part of the LGBTQ plus community often are at a higher rate for harassment and violence, are at 190% higher risk of substance use disorders compared to heterosexual individuals, which is an amazing statistic that I was looking into on the National Library of Medicine, which they have a bunch of great data that shows this, but really focusing on, this is a huge community that is impacted by substance use disorders and mental health disorders, that we need to start creating community to support them.
Right. It should not be dangerous to be alive and be who you are in this day and age and in our community. Sonia, Natasha, what do you think about this?
Well, I think, with myself having, a lot of experience with, friends, family, things like that, surrounding, addiction issues or health issues in general, it's always something that's been important to me in terms of, looking at how to prevent addiction and how to stay sober for and helping people with that. And being a part of the queer community, it's definitely something that I think about in terms of myself, but also in terms of the rest of the community. And I think it's a really important issue that doesn't get talked about a lot. And I'm really thankful that we have organizations and things out there that are acknowledging this and willing to support.
Yeah, thanks. Natasha.
Yeah, I think what's most important right now is that we are trying to create this community that is going to, these events that are going to really create a safe place for this community. And I think that's important. And I think we're just hoping that we can keep doing this every year and that it's going to be great.
Yeah, I was sorry, Tina.
No, go.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is like the first Pride event that's going on in Manitowoc, which is a huge thing. Can you like elaborate a little, like what you guys are feeling of, like, this is like the first like big event for Pride? How does that feel?
Well, I am very excited, and I hope it's the first of many, and I'm hoping that it's going to be bigger and we can get people from all sorts of communities to come and see Manitowoc and see that we can be welcoming and safe.
And I would say I definitely agree. I'm very excited. Pride events have been a huge part of my life since I was, a teenager. And I've always had to go to other prides. So like I've always had to either travel to Milwaukee or travel to Green Bay to have a Pride event. So to have one now here in Manitowoc, where, it's very accessible to people that live here that may not be able to travel outside of the community to get that kind of support, community connection, things like that. Just super excited to be able to host a space and make that happen.
Yeah, community support is so important, that validation and that rallying around. So when is the Pride celebration in Manitowoc?
July 29th. It's a Saturday.
Okay, tell us more. What do people need to know? Where is it going to be? How can they participate? What's going to be happening?
Of course. So there's two parts. The day part is gonna be family friendly, and it is from 12 to 5 p.m. And it's the central hub is gonna be Stage Shore Pub. And then we have a night event that's going to be 18 plus, and that's going to be in Two Rivers at the Two Rivers Community House. There's going to be entertainment. The band Almost Certain will be playing. We'll have drag performers, and then there's going to be a storytelling segment that I will let Sonia explain because it's her baby.
It is my baby. I'm very excited about it. So the storytelling came from actually originally from Paradigm in Sheboygan. Myself and another member of Love had attended an event where they had live storytelling. So this was, 5 minutes or under amount of storytelling based on their specific theme. And we really, really enjoyed that. It brought a lot of humanity. It was anywhere from sad stories to embarrassing to funny stories. And we really wanted to bring that to Pride. So our theme is going to be queer stories. So we are going to have people that are telling stories live during the event. But we are also having a platform through Google Forms where we're allowing the attendees or anybody that wants to share anonymous stories with us. That will be read hopefully by our MC JoJo, who is a drag queen, during the event. So if you're interested in sharing your own queer story, a brief story, we have the Google form available on our Facebook page.
So not only is it a sense of celebration, but there's also that sense of connecting and creating that deeper community. And so I imagine that anyone that's an ally is encouraged to attend.
Of course, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
We really wanted just to create a safe place for those in the LGBTQ plus community and allies to celebrate Pride, like Sonia said, locally would be amazing.
And I'm glad you guys are doing this story thing because I feel like, especially the youth I work with, like there are things going on in our community that people don't realize are happening. And to have kind of this anonymous platform for our youth to even like share their experience, I think is something so raw that a lot of people can learn of like, wow, like we don't know what happens in our community unless their stories are heard. And so I think this is a great way for not only our community to start learning of like, it happens here too. And we have this huge community here too, but also like giving our youth the opportunity to like have that outlet of like maybe they don't feel safe or they're not ready to come out, but being able to share their story is a tremendous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just want to add, it's completely anonymous. We don't even like the Google form doesn't even take your email or anything like that. So we don't know who's writing them. Of course, if there's anything that we feel is inappropriate, it needs to be family friendly. We will make sure that that's the case before they're read. We'll definitely look them over, but again, completely anonymous. So if you are wanting to share something that you feel like you maybe can't share otherwise, this is the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Natasha, could you tell us a little more about like the family friendly events that are going on? I feel like, again, this is the first Pride event that's going on, so I'm sure there's going to be a little people that are worried about bringing their kids there. So could you elaborate like what the child friendly, family friendly event kind of looks like?
Yeah, of course. So like I said, there's going to be a band, Almost Certain, and then we'll have 3 drag performers, and it's all going to be kosher, family friendly. There's nothing, we're making sure everything is is good for families and kids and things like that. There's going to be food trucks and local vendors. There's also going to be some local organizations are going to have tables. So it's really just about that connection, and just it'll be good for kids too, just to experience.
Yeah, and I know, I just to add to that, sorry, quickly. I know, there's obviously been a lot of discussion about drag queens and younger folks. So I just want to say, we've had discussions with the drag queens that we are having performing. We've had them perform and come to Unity Walk before. They've completely honored the fact that these are family-friendly events, and very conscious of, making sure that that is safe and inclusive and appropriate for all ages.
Nice. Brittany, I was just going to say, like in your line of work, do you find that there's more substance abuse or substance misuse when somebody feels alone or segregated and doesn't have this community to connect with? Do you think that there's some, I don't know, evidence that shows that by connecting and feeling a part of a larger community, that's what helps in some cases?
Absolutely. A majority of our data really shows that when youth don't feel connected to their community or even a trusted adult, that, this is where your substance use disorders and your mental health disorders play in, because of course that's what they go to when they don't have anyone, and they don't have anyone they feel like they can trust at school or at home or in their community, that this is their only outlet. It's going to be substances, which is very prevalent in Manitowoc County, unfortunately. And a lot of our youth, unfortunately, sometimes don't always get connected with Big Brothers Big Sisters or the YMCA or these other amazing organizations. Sometimes, unfortunately, there is kids that fall through the cracks, and that is their only outlet. So having this be the first Pride event and being able to see yourself represented in the community of like, I'm not alone, and there are people out there that are like me and can support me, is a huge, 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 huge thing for our youth, because I feel like in my own personal work, I don't feel like we have enough LGBTQ plus communities. And of course, Love does a fantastic job, but our schools are completely different beasts that sometimes they feel like they are alone, and it's sad to see.
Sonia, Natasha, what would you say to somebody that might be watching who themselves is, on this journey of discovery, or, they're a parent or guardian and they recognize that their child is on this journey? How can they connect, in addition to Pride? Should they be connecting with Love? Are there other resources? How can they connect with a larger community?
I think definitely you can connect with Love, but another organization is PFLAG of Manitowoc County. I think is a good resource. I think that would be really great if people have questions and need support. It meets the first Thursday of every month at 7 at St. James. So I think that would be a great support too.
Yeah, and I'll add that, in terms of Love, if you're looking for support, we are always open to, receiving emails, DMs, anything like that. But again, as Natasha said, PFLAG is an organization that's more so meant specifically for support for the LGBTQ plus community within Manitowoc. So they're definitely a very, very good resource.
Nice. I like that the term Pride is used to not only describe the event, right, and that rallying point, but I fully believe that the full community in general should be proud of how diverse our community is, right, and take pride in every segment of our community. And so personally, I'm really happy to know that you guys are doing this and that it's finally happening, that there's going to be a Pride event here. Is there a cost for people to attend? Are there any other logistics or details that people should know?
It's completely free. If you are feeling like having adult beverages, though, you need to make sure you bring your ID because we will be checking. Yeah, it's completely free, and we hope to keep it free for every year so it can be accessible to anyone.
Yeah, this will be my now new favorite event because they're using our festival scanners. So our coalition highly recommends attending because they're doing it the right way.
So that's an important thing. Brittany, tell us, what are these festival scanners? And
yeah, so during the summer months, or pretty much any time during the year, our coalition has festival toolkits available to events. So like Pride, if there is going to be sale of beer or liquor, we recommend that they take our ID scanners. So they're basically like a handheld phone. You scan an ID and it tells you if the ID is valid. if they had been checked in the last 24 hours, and if it's their birthday, there's actually a little like ringtone. If it's their birthday, it like sings a little song. It's really funny. But it includes that, a training video, and neon wristbands that they can use to identify people that are over 21. And it's completely free to anyone in the community that has an event. And so it's just another barrier to make sure that our youth aren't accessing substances in our community, because we do know from a lot of the youth we talk about or talk to, often end up getting it at these festivals where there are a lot of parents or adults that are inebriated and aren't maybe checking IDs as well as they should, or beer tents are really busy and they're not going to check everyone's ID. So it's just another barrier to make it easier on events to make sure we're keeping everyone safe.
Yeah, very nice. And so again, the tie-in here with Healthiest Manitowoc County is the motivation that every individual in our community live their best, healthiest life, right? Like as a community, we thrive if everyone is allowed to honor themselves and, perform and thrive at their highest level, right? Everyone can be loved and included. And I just came across this quote, and a friendly reminder: you don't need to fully understand the nuances of gender identity to know that each individual person knows who they are better than you ever will. What do you think? Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to speak for everyone, but it's really just about loving your neighbor. Like, we should love and care for our community and support one another, no matter gender, ethnicity, background, language. Everyone should be able to have the same respect and opportunity to live a happy, healthy life.
Yeah, absolutely. We will never all agree on all of the same things, right? I absolutely don't love all of my husband's music choices, for example, right? But that doesn't change how much I love and respect him. So like if we just take that as a little nugget, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Any final words, any final thoughts you want to share with the viewing community, ladies?
Sorry, you can go, Sonia.
Oh, I was just going to add, we are still looking for volunteers and or sponsors for the event. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to reach out to us at Lakeshore's United Visionaries at gmail.com. We also have more information about that available on our Facebook page. So feel free to reach out and check that out. And excited about the event, and hopefully we'll see everyone there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, please come and see this great event, hopefully the first of many years to come, and we hope to see you there. It's going to be great.
Thank you guys again for coming. I really appreciate it. And I'm very, very excited for the first Pride event for Manitowoc. So I'm so excited and so thankful for the amazing work you guys do.
Yeah.
And thank you too, especially for allowing us to utilize the services that you guys provide. That's a wonderful service, and we're so excited to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone celebrating, stay safe, stay smart. Our guests today have been Sonia Vasquez and Natasha Khan of Lakeshore United Visionaries. My co-host is Brittany Boyer of Healthiest Manitowoc County. I'm Tina Prigge. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Healthiest Coast, and happy Pride, everyone.
Bye.